Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Riley Lillenquist, and I'm back for what is now my fourth Tales. Today I have guest speakers Koro Sugiyama and Kyle Middlestead Casper. Kyle, how are you?
Doing great, Riley.
Koro, how are you?
Fantastic.
Good. Today, Kyle will be telling us about the Pixar Theory. So, Kyle, if you want to begin, the floor is yours and ours.
Alright, so the Pixar Theory, it works, but how many Pixar films are you guys familiar with?
Oh, I've seen.
I like a lot. It's like childhood, man.
I've seen
It
every
is.
single one.
It's like maybe Disney and them are on the same level. So
It's
make
up
Pixar
there.
better.
Alright, so the Pixar Theory itself was it originated from a person, his name was John Lasseter. And he even said he got the inspiration of the Pixar Theory from a video on cracked.com. It was one of their things that they were doing on that website. So, what exactly is the Pixar Theory? It is the theory that all films made by Pixar are on the same timeline in the same universe. So the explanation works best if you have seen all of these films, because then they intertwine better in your own mind. So have you two seen Brave?
No.
No, you've never seen
I'm
Brave?
sorry, but like those little. I've seen pictures.
I'm anti.
I've seen pictures.
I'm anti-feminism.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm not actually anti-feminism, but if I want to be important in Idaho, I have to be anti.
Anti-something.
Anti anything that's not Republican. Anti-progress.
I don't like change. Alright, so the reason I asked you about Brave is because it is the first and last movie in this timeline, and that seems a little confusing, but
I'm confused.
we'll get over that in a second. So, Brave starts in the Dark Ages, and the reason it's the first movie in the timeline is because it's the only movie in all of Pixar that ever explains why animals have human characteristics. For example, when, what's her name, Merida? How do you pronounce that? Merida, I think? She accidentally turns her mother into a bear. She's eventually returned back to herself, but in the movie, it explains that one other person has had this happen to them, but it was in a more forever type of situation where that was not reversed.
Their entire life, basically. So they were an animal their entire life.
Yeah, they did not get reversed, so...
It was probably a guy.
It was a guy, actually.
Guys are animals.
Guys are animals.
Yeah, in that movie, though, when her mother was turned into a bear, she retained some of her human characteristics, so it can be assumed that it was the same with these other animals that were also changed, or these other people that were transformed into animals. And if you know the witch in that movie, she can move through door to door, and when she moves through a door, goes back through the same door into the room she was previously in. That room's changed. Now that sounds a lot like a different Pixar film that we'll get into later. So, the next few movies in the timeline are Ratatouille, Up, and Finding Nemo. So, in the movie Ratatouille, all Remy wants to do is cook, but that's something that only humans can do normally. And at the end of this culinary film, we find that the existence of animal intelligence is not kept a secret by the end of the movie, because Remy gets out with all of his rat buds.
His rat buds.
And they're the best chefs in the world.
They are the best chefs. The rats are the best chefs in the world, and that is not kept a secret by the end of the movie. And rumors about animal intelligence spread really fast, especially to those who believe, adventure is out there.
Adventure is out there.
Adventure is out there. Those who believe that were probably the ones who would find these rumors more interesting. So Charles Muntz from Up, he got the idea of his intelligent callers from these rumors, and he uses them to expand on the potential of intelligence in animals. But again, spoilers, obviously in all of these, as seen at the end of the movie, though, Charles Muntz is dead. And, sorry, Riley.
I've seen...
okay, the look you gave me, you're like, what?
No, I understand.
We have to put a spoiler alert at the beginning of this.
Oh yeah, I guess we do, huh? But at the end of the movie Up, all of his dogs still have those intelligent collars on him, even though he's dead. So they kind of just go around doing whatever they want. So that's pretty interesting on that part. So finally, in Finding Nemo, there's a grouping of fish have evolved with enough intelligence to work together to navigate through the ocean in order to rescue one fish's son from humans. Now, we see humans treat animals harmfully, as seen in this film, all the time, especially even in the world we live in now. However, in this film, it's the only time we've seen animals do something about it and go get their fish son back.
We're talking about Nemo, right?
We are talking about Nemo. Come on, I
Okay,
said
just had
that.
to clarify that. I get really confused.
What other sea-bearing Pixar films are there?
Nemo 2. Dory.
Finding Dory?
Yeah, Finding Dory.
2015 hasn't come out yet.
It's 20. Okay.
So, oh, and by the way, throughout this entire thing, it's really important to clarify that there are three main factions in the Pixar theory. There are the animals, there are the humans, and then there are artificial intelligent things, which are robots, things on the...
No. Oh, I get it. So things that aren't real but are intelligent.
Yeah, they are like,
that have brains. Like...
Yeah, like...
toys.
You shut up. Actually, we're moving on to something else. See, it's enough about animal intelligence now. We're going to talk about something else that's evolving alongside these animals, such as humans and the creations, such as toys. So humans are evolving also, but they're doing it in the form of supers. So the Incredibles came along. Now, in The Incredibles, which is roughly about the 1950s, so all of these other films should have taken either some part past that or a little beforehand, or a little past that hour, my bad. So the antagonist, who is a non-super, his name is Syndrome, if you guys remember that.
Wait. The part where Syndrome's growing up, that takes part of the 1950s, or is that when they're like younger? Go away, bro.
I would say that's 50s and 60s.
Yeah, it would be like the beginning of The Incredibles takes when Syndrome is a little babby. Not well, he's not a baby, but he's
a little babby.
He's a little babby.
Little babby.
All right.
That would be in the 1950s. So by the end of the film, it was probably around the 1970s, maybe 60s.
Okay.
Syndrome creates an AI that, as Mr. Incredible states, quote for quote, got too smart to wonder why it had to take orders. The killing machine then proceeds to defeat its creator in mere seconds, knocking out Syndrome, the person with the remote that was supposed to control it. So, more evidence of exactly how strong these AIs are is that they practically commit genocide towards these superheroes. They learn everything about one superhero, and then when they learn that they do that with every superhero, and then when they identify that superhero as this person, they go into their database and they transform themselves to be the perfect killing machine to that specific one.
So they target their weaknesses.
Yeah, they learn everything about him, and then they're like, wait, they can't. Their powers don't work if it's raining, and then they make it rain or something. I don't know. It's not a strip club.
Make it rain.
Yeah, and again, giant spoiler alert. At the end of the movie, Syndrome is dead. What's up with these Pixar films and people dying?
Syndrome got
like modern times.
Syndrome got cut up in an airplane jet.
Yeah, because no capes.
This movie's rated
no capes.
This movie's rated G, and this guy's going into an airplane jet.
Yeah, that actually kind of haunted my memories for a while.
You just don't think about that. You're all like, oh, he's now going to a happy place, not in a
that turbine's a pretty happy place.
Why does he get to go to a happy place? I'm real excited about where I get to go to if he's going to a happy place.
Yeah, I mean, he committed genocide, and you're like, oh, he's going to a better place.
Minor details.
Minor details, none of these matters. Okay, again, spoiler alert, Syndrome's dead, and the robot's destroyed. Mr. Incredible destroys it by bashing what's supposed to be its face in or something. He got inside of it, ripped out its heart.
Oh yeah.
But you can't kill the AI. The AI still exists, and it is really, really advanced. We're talking 1960s here, and this robot conforms, or it transforms itself, depending on who it's facing. This is some pretty advanced stuff, and it still exists and is out there. Now, the next movie that takes place is, as Riley stated before, it's Toy Story.
Way to ruin it, Riley.
Way to ruin.
I didn't say anything specifically.
Like toy? Yeah, no, that's not. I guess. Okay, Toy Story. It takes place from 1, 2, and 3. They're about 10 years apart each, from the 1990s to about 2010, where humans are throwing away. They take something that's clearly sentient and they throw them away, even though we don't, like, if it was in our world, we don't know that the toys are sentient, but we still throw them away, and that's got to make them feel kind of crappy. Now, the toys, in a sense, start revolting against humans throughout the entire series. Like, they rise up against Sid in the first movie. In the second movie, Jessie completely resents her owner, Emily, for abandoning her. And Lotso Huggins Bear straight up hates humans in the third one. Yeah. They're obviously not satisfied with what's going on right now, and it provides a reason why the machines and objects alike are ready to just take over. The reason is that is never a direct uprising, though, is that, as seen in Toy Story, if an AI is not around a human interaction enough, it becomes dormant. So, to put that into smaller terms, if they want to keep their intelligence, they have to stay around something that's human, or human creations.
So they have to be around intelligence?
No, they have to be around specifically human intelligence.
Oh, okay.
They can't just be like a toy, go out into the wilderness and live off of animal intelligence.
Okay.
Yeah. So to sum up everything that, like, I'm trying to shorten the Pixar Theory as much as I can because this is long. But the basics is the animals want humans to stop polluting. That seems like what animals would want right now. However, machines are behind most of the polluting. So what we can see is machines want less humans, but not extinction. And the result that comes of this is a revolution from the intelligent animals aided by the machines to overthrow the humans, after which the machines then destroy the animals. Because, come on, animals are not going to kill a robot. The winner of this entire revolution is known based off the next movie in the timeline. Riley, you want to spoil this one too?
Wally?
No, it's Cars.
Oh.
Alright, so Cars takes place at approximately the year 2100 or 2200. Somewhere in there. It's very hard. They're very human-like cars with an even more human-like AI. There are no humans nor animals in Cars. Like, if you watch all the Cars films, there's none of that.
I know, I remember, like, seeing in the first one, the little, like, fly, and it was a little bug,
Yeah,
and I was like, that's so brilliant!
Yeah, there's no animal. Even the bugs are cars.
Yep.
Bugs are cars.
Alright, oh, my bad, please. We're going Totoro on this. But we still know that they're on Earth because they visited places like Europe and Japan, and even when they visited Japan, they had Japanese lettering. So, unless somewhere out in a different universe, they use the exact same symbols in the same country on something they call the same planet. They're still on Earth in our country, in our universe. So now, since there are no humans in Cars, the cars rely on actual fuel, which is why there's an energy crisis in Cars 2. Which, have you guys seen Cars 2?
I've seen bits of Cars.
Yeah, bits and pieces.
I'm sorry. I guess we're not as good at this whole thing.
I've got a 4-year-old at home. I've seen it.
Yeah, we have kids.
We have kids? So you two now.
No. That was caveman days. We have kids.
We have kid.
We have kids.
One kid.
We have kids. We have one kids. There's an S on that.
So you guys have not seen. Okay.
Well, I understand it.
In Cars 2, there's an energy crisis. There's a big thing going on, and Mater turned into a spy and whatnot. However, the machines themselves are, because it's run by machines, Earth was apt to run out of resources, leaving no fuel or humans for the machines on Earth to run off of. So the result of this specifically, who wants to take a guess?
Wally!
Wally!
That's a Pixar movie.
You just found that out like a minute ago.
Wally takes place around 700 years after Cars, so it's like 29,000. It's 2,900 to 3,000 years. That's about where the Wally is at. Well, in Wally, all the humans that remain have left on a ship called the Axiom, where the AI autopilot is the real one in control. And more spoilers, you guys, I'm sure you know this by now.
I've seen Wally.
I have seen Wally.
Okay, good. Finally, one that you guys have seen. It treats all humans on board like. Can you take a guess?
Like servants.
Like toys.
Toys.
Treat them like toys. The AI corrected the problem of not having enough attention by forcing the humans to give them all their attention, which sounds something like that. Sounds AI like to me. Over correct things, yeah. Or a woman.
Sorry, what?
Just kidding, Coral.
No, you're not.
Okay, so back on Earth, we have the only robot there left. His name's Wally. Being that this type of robot is solar powered, it may have seemed weird at first that Wally's survived so long in his quest, where the rest in his robot family, have failed. But then you realize Wally has one trait no other robot has, and wants to take a guess. No, okay, he collects human things.
You didn't give me time.
I
need a good pause, like off of Dora.
You
Say the answer. Correct.
I thought that was a long enough pause. Okay, well, he collects human things. He has a really big fascination with old human things. Every day he collects a new thing that humans created, and what we can see at one point was he was messing around with the Rubik's Cube, which I still can't figure those out. And, okay, at the end of this movie, we see humans return to Earth, and Wally plants a tree, the first plant on Earth in about 700 years. But it's on a devastatingly polluted turf. For life to spring on such a desolated planet, that must be quite a resilient tree. So resilient that this tree stays alive until life starts to return again in our smallest form.
A Bug's Life.
There we go.
Oh, gosh dang it.
I almost completely forgot that A Bug's Life was
made by Pixar.
I'm not the only one.
Bug's Life is set way, way far in the future. And it's at approximately the year 3000, maybe 3100. And for the simple fact, the only reason it's in the future is because these bugs act like no other animal in the Pixar universe. These bugs, they live in cities, they invent things, and they create. Flick is even warned not to leave their island for fear of birds, snakes, and bigger bugs, but not humans. And it's probably because there are not enough humans to have scattered across Earth at this point. It's quite possible these bugs didn't even see humans as a threat. Oh, so that's a lot of the Pixar theory right there. We're not done yet, though.
I'm into this.
I'm still following.
Okay, you guys following along?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, with what we see... Oh, my bad. With that, we see animals, humans, machines, all living in harmony again. Sort of. Until the evolution of the next super species. Who wants to take another guess?
I don't care for guessing.
No, I got this. Okay, what did you just say?
So everything's living in harmony.
Monsters.
Monsters
Incorporated. Oh my gosh, Riley, you wrote everything!
Monsters Incorporated is the farthest movie in this timeline that doesn't do a roundabout. So monsters may have very well came from the fact that humans have been living on an extremely polluted and radiated planet for about 800 years. So humans are gone. This weak died from cancer probably, and then the strong mutated into a monster and got major superpowers. So, being that humans have suddenly evolved into something else, and all life has seemed to rely on humans to survive, it becomes a giant conundrum that the monsters need to fix. Monsters and humans have been seen together side by side though, meaning the only way this could be possible that, they don't exist on the same timeline, or that they don't exist on the same time era, is that monsters, in order to survive, using, the laughter and screams and the interaction from children, they have to travel back in time to the peak of humanity to scrounge what they could. So, this would explain why monsters are told to be afraid of humans and not touch anything so as to not disturb the past and completely ruin the future. Like the Butterfly Effect, which was a great movie in my opinion.
I haven't seen it. I need to see it because I feel like that's, I don't know.
Another Pixar? No, it's not
No.
Pixar.
No, I feel like that's just a wrongdoing
What
on me for not seeing it.
What if the flux capacitor runs the doors?
What flux?
I mean, I understand what's the flux capacitor? You have to leave now.
Well, I like no, but not no.
The Flux go past Back to the Future, great movie.
Okay.
88 miles an hour.
I got you now.
88 miles an hour. Anyways, back to your story.
So, because they're not supposed to touch anything, and they're not really told why, throughout the entire thing, one little kid kind of breaks our entire universe in half with what she does. Boo walks into the future through her door, looking for her kitty. So, it is well known that Boo eventually, she receives her return visit from Sully at the end of the movie. If you watch the credits, which every one of you should, if you've ever seen a Pixar film, you watch past the credits.
Yeah. Pixar and Marvel.
Pixar and Marvel. And any alien movie. Because there's that egg there at the end. They will come back.
Aliens and eggs. It's just gross.
I don't know, you and Coral are...
What?
With that past comment.
Well,
What?
I don't even want to go back.
Oh.
So, well, after Boo receives her visit from her kitty, or Sully, whatever you want to call him, Boo kind of grows up knowing that monsters and there's a giant universe out there. She exists. Coral, you're grinning. What's going on?
I know what's going next.
You gonna beat Riley to the
Yes.
next? Okay.
I know what's going on.
No, you're not.
So, she spends her entire life trying to find that monster civilization again, traveling from country to country, and even stumbling upon a power called the Will of the Wisps. She travels the wrong direction in time, back to the Dark Age of Scotland, and becomes branded as a witch in a movie called Brave.
No, I was gonna say it, Kyle.
Sorry, I saw that you were hyped up about it. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna let you take this one.
Anti-feminism, Kyle.
So, that is the entire Pixar theory on this. Even if you look in the movie Brave, and it's been pointed out a lot, you can see carvings of Sully in the background of the witch's hut. She moves around through doors, and then when she comes back through the same doors, there's a different room. And even when on her little crafting table where she sculpts wood and objects, we can see the Pizza Planet truck there, which I don't know if you guys know this or not, but in the Dark Ages of Scotland, they didn't have cars.
Oh my god.
Boom. My entire mind.
Sudden realization.
Yeah.
And it's been said a lot how Pixar leaves hints towards their other films, and so if they leave a reference in a film, it's usually a reference towards the movie coming next. This could very well be Boo leaving things from her reality around the Pixar films as she's trying to find her way to the monsters universe.
That's so brilliant. Who is this guy?
His name John Lasseter, right?
No. John. Oh, my bad. Did I say John Lasseter?
Yes, you did say John Lasseter.
John Lasseter is the a CEO at Pixar.
Yeah,
he is not the person who created this. I'm very sorry that I screwed this up for so long. The person who created this was a brilliant man named John Negroni.
No, same first name.
Right.
John Lasseter. Yeah, well, it's spelled different. John Lasseter is John, and John Negroni is Jon.
Oh, all right.
It got so bad at that. It's my bad. It's just grounding my brain with Pixar stuff. I'm just like, ooh, CEO and Pixar Theory and Boo and.
So that's the end of the Pixar theory, huh?
That was
For now.
Basically, for now.
Yeah, and if you ask any Pixar person that works at the Pixar company, they're gonna say, "Nah, this is just a."
That's why it's a theory right
it's
now.
It's a crazy random happenstance. However,
Right.
I wonder if
they worked too perfectly.
Yeah.
someone did come up with this, and then they're like, "Oh, we should do that," and now they're doing that, and now they're like, "Oh, no, we don't do that."
Yeah, not John Negroni, not Lasseter. John Negroni. I think it was 2013, maybe 2012, when he released on his official website that
The whole
hey,
thing.
here is the Pixar theory.
Really?
Yeah, and in Crack.com, where he got his idea, all they said was, hey, they pointed out that Pixar connects their films, and they're like, what if it's on the same timeline because of this? And John Negroni's like, I have to dig deeper on that. You can't just leave me hanging.
Okay, so he's the one that really established it.
Yeah, John Negroni, he earned the nickname Pixar Detective because he's just a genius on this entire thing.
Do you guys have a favorite Pixar movie yourselves?
Um,
It's too hard.
It is hard.
I could take any of the Toy Stories or Monsters Inc. Maybe The Incredibles.
Do the sequels come into play in this Pixar theory?
Yeah, well, sort of, like...
Well, like, there's Cars 2, obviously.
There was Cars and Cars 2. Like, for the thing with, what is it called? Monster University?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
That's a prequel, though.
That is a prequel to the actual Monsters. So, it intertwines with the Monsters film, which intertwines with Boo, who is that witch and Brave, but the Monsters University never actually has anything to do with...
Yeah, that makes sense. Because it is a prequel.
Yeah.
You guys ever realize the racism in Monsters Inc.?
No.
You remember the part where they're running through the doors to get away from what's his name?
Oh,
The salamander.
Yeah, the chameleon. Anyways, Randall. That's
yeah, Randall.
Anyways,
Something.
You remember when they go through the door and they go in and they go into China? And everything's all upside down.
Yeah.
That's completely wow. Is that because they're on the other side of the world?
I love that
reference. They're communists? Because they're racist? I don't know.
It's all three.
Maybe it's not because they're monsters and they're not real, or they're not real up to this point. So they have a right to be racist. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I have a quote written down.
Oh, you
What
do?
is this brilliant quote?
Yeah, what is the quote?
It was a quote, as I said before, if you ask the people who work at Pixar, they're going to say, no, this is just a random coincidence.
Yeah.
Here's one actual quote from one of the people. He said, no, the movies were sort of made in a different order by different directors in different times, in different places. It's cool that it all worked that way, but it probably was not intentional. He said probably. I'd just like to point that out.
Ooh.
That man is like a liar.
You're a liar.
I don't know, maybe a coincidence, but it's really interesting.
The universe is hardly so lazy.
That's a quote. You should put that.
The universe is ever so lazy.
Hardly.
Hardly ever so lazy.
It is.
It is a quote. Who's it from?
We don't talk about where it's from.
Okay. All right. And I think we've pretty much gone down to every detail. I need my brain to relax a little bit. So, thanks, Kyle. Thank you, Goro.
Not a problem.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Have a great life. All right. Goodbye, America.